Welcome to Big Blue Banter. I'm Natalie Alicia.
And I'm Brianna Rotterdam. Today we have lots of sports updates for you, so let's get started with men's basketball. Last Saturday night, Rupp Arena was roaring with fans for the Wildcats senior night and last home game of the season. Honored players were Zach Tao, Walker Horn, Otega Owe, and Denzel Aberdeen. Starting off slow, the Gators gained 11 points on the Wildcats, but this was only fuel for 0-0. Although they ended up losing the game 84-77, Owe put up 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists, making for a great last home game. Moving into the week, Kentucky traveled down to Nashville, Tennessee to play the first round of the SEC tournament for the 90th time as a team. Coming into the game yesterday fresh off a loss, it was obvious the Wildcats were ready for a win. With an 87-82 win against LSU, Kentucky has moved on to play in the second round, currently happening right now against the Missouri Tigers. Preparing for this, Mark Pope talks about the tournament and the team's commitment to each other.
I don't know that there's a huge correlation. I think it comes down to right now is our commitment to each other, our competitiveness, our fight, and how well we play. It's a beautiful thing about the postseason is there's no judges out there. You just have a winner and a loser, and it's very clear, and it says it on a scoreboard. And so we don't need to overcomplicate it. We just need to go play great.
In the heat of all the tournament play, Selection Sunday is just days away with teams chosen for March Madness this weekend. Good luck to the Wildcats during the rest of the tournament.
The Kentucky Wildcats women's basketball team made a strong run this week at the SEC tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. Kentucky opened up the tournament with a dominant performance, defeating Arkansas 94-64. The Wildcats kept the momentum going in the next round with a 76-61 win over Georgia. That victory advanced Kentucky to the semifinals, where they faced South Carolina. The Gamecocks defeated Kentucky by an 87-64 loss and ending the Wildcats tournament run. Despite the semifinal exit, Kentucky showed strong performance throughout the week and now turns its focus to the postseason run.
I think we got better here today, like we've said. So I think continuing to build off what we've been doing these past few days here at the tournament, our games throughout the whole season, just continue to build off that, being able to execute everything like that. I think the SEC in this tournament has really prepared us a lot for like March Madness and like what we're going to do there. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to go on a run with this team.
With a 23-10 record, Kentucky now turns their attention to Selection Sunday, where they are expected to hear their name called for the NCAA tournament.
Let's take a break from all things basketball for a moment and hear from Miles Florick about baseball.
Thanks, Natalie and Bree. Kentucky baseball is heading into SEC play with momentum after a 10-3 win over Ball State Thursday night at Kentucky Proud Park. The 21st ranked Wildcats improved to 15-2 on the season and kept the bats rolling, scoring 10 or more runs for the 5th time in their last 6 games, also adding their 10th victory in a row. The game was tied at 3 before Kentucky broke it open with a 5-run inning, with sophomore Ryan Schwartz helping spark the surge. Schwartz finished 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBI, a double, and a stolen base, while junior Jace Tharnish added 2 hits and 2 RBI of his own. Meanwhile, Oliver Boone earned his first win back in a Kentucky uniform after missing all last season with an elbow injury. On the bases, Kentucky also went a perfect 6 for 6 on stolen base attempts and pushed past 800 steals under head coach Nick Mangione. Here's what he had to say about sophomore Schwartz.
And Schwartz just continues to have good at-bat after good at-bat. And, it had been really easy for Schwartz. I mean, he just was missing balls and hit some balls hard and got out. It could have been really easy for him just to feel sorry for himself and go the other way. And I just complimented him last week about his presence and his competitiveness. He's too good of a hitter, too good of a player not to continue to have good at-bats or to get down on himself. And he continues to have great at-bats.
Now the Wildcats turn their attention to Alabama, with SEC play opening Friday night in Lexington. Now back to you, Bree and Natalie.
Thank you, Miles.
Let's not forget about Kentucky women's volleyball, whose spring season is underway. Reporter Lance Roth is here with more.
This past Thursday, volleyball kicked off its spring season inside historic Memorial Coliseum, hosting Xavier in an exhibition match. Volleyball kicked off their spring season ending with a draw 2-2 against the Musketeers. The game was competitive throughout, with the Wildcats jumping out to an early lead and carrying that momentum into the second set, jumping out to a 21-9 lead before closing it out 25-15. Xavier continued to battle, rattling off 6 straight in the third set, coming out on top 25-22. The Musketeers carried their energy over, taking a final short fourth set, 15-13.
You know, it's like when you get a new thing of clay, it's just one ball and you got to mold it into something. So I'm cheesy sometimes with those, but it's true. I mean, you just never know what the end product is going to be, and I don't think we know yet with this group.
Kentucky will enjoy a nice break before traveling to Dayton at the end of the month to play in an exhibition matchup. Natalie and Bree, back to you.
Thanks, Lance. Stay tuned for some exciting SET tournament predictions right after this break.
At the University of Kentucky, we build, we work, we lead. Not for the credit, but the future. For the name on the front of the jersey, the name that binds us, the place that drives us. For students and patients, farmers and families, fans and physicians, from dawn to dusk, we are here, advancing Kentucky together.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Like stars across the sky, we were born to shine, all of us here because we believe.
Welcome back to Big Blue Banter. March Madness is ramping up with the selection show just days away.
Grace Bridges and Ian Alcorn have more about SEC tournament and big dance predictions.
Thanks, Bree and Natalie. We start with the SEC tournament, which is taking place at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee.
The Kentucky Wildcats had a successful first day in Nashville at the SEC tournament, defeating LSU 87-82, led by Otega Owe and Denzel Aberdeen with 23 and 16 points.
Cam Williams returned from the injury for the Cats, his first game since January after a broken foot. Owe and Aberdeen shared their thoughts on his return.
To be honest, I didn't even know he was going to play today, but I'm glad he did. He came in, stepped up big time, he guarded, he hit a big time three, and I'm just proud of him in his journey, just trying to get back to us as quick as possible. He's been in and out the training room a lot, just trying to get back to us, so I'm proud of him for today for coming in.
Yeah, I think I knew he was playing yesterday, but obviously he comes in and trains every single day trying to get back, and I feel like that really shows the type of player and person he is. I mean, anyone could just say, oh, they're going to call it out for the season, but I feel like he really worked really hard to get back and get into game shape. And yeah, he was really big for us today. I feel like defensively, and he made that big time three. So yeah.
Kentucky has advanced to the second round, and they are now playing Missouri. They have a score of 26-23 as Kentucky leads nearing the end of the first quarter. Missouri walked into Rupp Arena, Grace, and beat Kentucky 73-68, with Aberdeen, who was functioning as a secondary playmaker in that game.
Yeah, they had. They just got to play their game today. Yeah. They got to focus on their front court and have their big guys step up and play their game.
For Kentucky to secure the win, they need to have a good game from Mo Diabate and Malachi Moreno and others to step up and stop Mark Mitchell for the Tigers. Grace, do you think Kentucky will have a chance to win as if they win today, they'll play Florida in the quarterfinal matchup? And how do you think that game would go if the Cats get it done today?
Yeah, I think Florida's a tough team. They have big guys. They got They got what's
Thomas Howell.
Yeah, they got Thomas Howell.
And
they got Lee at the
Chinyelu,
front.
yeah.
Lee at the front, he can
Xavier
shoot
and Lee,
threes.
Yeah, and obviously, coming off a championship run last season, they don't lack confidence in any way. So it'll be a big game for the Cats if they can get it done today.
Yeah, and I mean, Kentucky can shoot. They just got to trust in themselves and stand up to those big guys in Florida.
That's all for the Banner Couch today. Thank you, guys. Back to you, Bree and Natalie.
Thanks for those exciting predictions. Stay tuned for the final part of today's show featuring the high school basketball tournaments taking place at our very own Rupp Arena.
At the University of Kentucky, we build, we work, we lead. Not for the credit, but the future. For the name on the front of the jersey, the name that binds us, the place that drives us. For students and patients, farmers and families, fans and physicians, from dawn to dusk, we're here, advancing Kentucky together.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
In today's high school hype, we are all about the KHSAA basketball tournaments. Both the boys and girls Sweet 16 are happening here at Rupp Arena.
We go live outside our studios to Sophia Caros with some of the highlights from yesterday's rounds.
Thank you, Bree and Natalie. I'm here outside of Rupp Arena where the KHSAA Girls Basketball Sweet 16 is happening right now. My colleagues Ryan, Brooke, and I were fortunate enough to attend the first day of action. I covered the Wednesday morning session. Broncos are moving on after a dominant performance in the opening round. Frederick Douglass came into the game with a 24-7 record and faced a top Henderson County team that entered 24-9 and had just won the second region title. From the start, the Broncos were on fire. Frederick Douglass used strong defense and excellent offense to secure a 44-23 victory, holding the Colonels to just 23 points in the game. Leading the way for Douglas was Jelly Knowles, who finished with 15 points and 8 rebounds, along with Tamia Wade, who helped lead the Broncos with 4 3-pointers. Frederick Douglass reached the semifinals a year ago, but this season are aiming for the big title, which we play Saturday night at 7:30 right here at Rupp Arena.
Man, it's what we practice on a lot. We predicate on deflections. It's one of the tallies that we keep over here in our stats. We keep deflections, and we stretch that a lot as far as trying to get through screens, know how to step through with your inside leg, weak side defense, know where you at, knowing if we telling you that we feel like a girl's not gonna hurt us as much, cheating up the lane, things like that. You gotta teach not just getting your hand on the ball, know how to slide your feet and actually forcing the kick out.
After the morning game, our colleague Ryan Johnson attended the 1:30 matchup between Assumption and Callaway County. Here are his highlights.
Assumption High School took on Callaway County at 1:30 yesterday at Rupp Arena in the first round of the KHSAA Girls Basketball Sweet 16. Assumption held a record of 24-5 and Callaway County with a 33-2 record. From the jump, Assumption was showing out, with tenacious defense, good motion, and getting fouled early. They jumped out to an 18-9 lead after the first quarter, and Callaway County struggled to keep up. More of the same continued into the second quarter as Assumption grew their lead to 35-17 at the half, with little signs of slowing down. Assumption's Ashlyn James finished the game with 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists as they cruised to a 72-35 victory, winning by 37 points. They advanced to the next round to play Frederick Douglass on March 13th at 11 a.m.
I'm now joined by Brooke, who attended the late games here at Rupp.
Thanks, Sophia. The first game of the evening began with a Notre Dame dominating Pikeville with a final score of 77-38. Notre Dame will advance to play Taylor County in the Elite Eight. Late on Wednesday, the final game of the evening, the girls' Sweet 16 tournament was a ruthless battle between West Jessamine and Taylor County, ending with a Taylor County win in the final minutes with a score of 60-58. Taylor County entered the second half up by 11, but West Jessamine fought back in the third quarter and kept the game close until the very end. Ariana McClooney switched to 3 in the final 6 seconds of the game, bringing the score to 59-58. In the final opportunity to regain possession, a foul was called and the clock ran out just before West Jessamine could get another shot. Taylor County was led scoring by Greta Bradstreet with 19 points and Kaylee Diener with 18. The team will return to Rupp Arena for the Elite Eight game on Friday to face Notre Dame. The first game of the day wrapped up, Franklin Simpson taking the win over Bullitt East with a final score of 66-47.
Your high school girls champion will be crowned on Saturday evening, and the boys will play next week. Back to you, Natalie and Bree.
Thank you, Sophia and Brooke. It has been an exciting week here at Rupp. Along with our broadcast reporters, we have photojournalist colleagues taking stills all over in the arena. We'll end our show tonight with a look at some of those shots on display here in our studio in downtown Lexington.
We're off for spring break next week, but we'll be back after that on Thursdays at 1 p.m. on the University of Kentucky's Twitch channel. Until then, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Big Blue Banter UKY to stay up to date with the latest. Have a great break and good luck on midterms, Wildcats.